Alright, so today I just wanted to give my opinion on something, a topic. Saying that out loud, actually, I realised that that's what I do every video ever. But that's also what I'm doing today. So you see all the time people complaining about remakes being just the ungodly death of cinema that's ruining everything. I'm not just talking sequels, I mean like reboots, remakes, sequels, whatever, all that kind of shit. Franchises, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like a lot of people complain about remakes being the only thing that Hollywood produces anymore, and the fact that like all of Hollywood and stuff, nothing creative comes out of it and no films are ever original anymore. I just feel like that's a pretty common complaint, that people always say that there are no ideas anymore, the same shit is being made all the time, and that's all we get, and so they're not like interested in a lot of movies and stuff. Even if it's an exaggeration here, like I'm sure they don't mean literally there's nothing original. I'm sure that that's a little bit of an exaggeration. But even so, I just want to argue here today, or not even argue, I just want to let people know, from my own point of view, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as we all think. That, yeah, sure, a lot of remakes come out, but a lot of original stuff is coming out every year as well. Every single year. And just recently, like just off the top of my head, we got Knives Out, Parasite, Ready or Not. Those are some great ones that came out in the recent months, late last year. And there's always stuff coming out like that. There's always stuff. You just have to look for it. The frustrating side to this is that you do have to look for it, and that stuff doesn't have as big a promotional advantage as a lot of the other movies like blockbusters, just mainstream stuff. Just off the top of my head, I'm just trying to think of like some of those sort of shitty mainstream movies that don't hold that much merit but make a shit ton of money, and it's frustrating because that does get promoted a lot. Another aspect to it is that whenever I want to see these sorts of more obscure films, the indie stuff and those sorts of movies, I often have to go out of my way. I've got to go like into the city, or I've got to drive an hour away or whatever. The parking sucks and it's just a struggle and things are more expensive and whatever. If I ever want to see one of these movies, because the only cinemas showing are those kind of weird art house ones and stuff, and not like my local easy to get to cinemas, and that's frustrating. I hate that those sorts of movies don't get as much praise, recognition, money, all that kind of stuff as they deserve. It sucks, but that's just the case, and it's been that case for a long time. But when it does come to remakes and all that stuff, I also want to argue that I don't think that we have more remakes than original movies in terms of compared to the past. Like, more movies are made now more than ever in history. Like, anybody can make a movie to an extent. I mean, there's more to it than that, but like, there's a lot more accessibility into filmmaking and into watching films as well. Like, from both sides, audiences and filmmakers alike, there's a lot more accessibility. There's more options than there used to be. And yeah, like, more original films more than ever are being made today than compared to 30 odd years ago. So yes, while more franchise movies and that sort of stuff are also made more than ever, I don't feel like in terms of pure quantity, straight numbers, that we're getting more of those and less original movies. We're just not. The percentages might have changed. In terms of comparing them to each other, we might be getting more remakes than original movies than before. But in terms of actual quantity, I think that's total shit. That's just not a valid argument. It's just not true. And the thing is, like, if you're one of the people that complains that Hollywood is just never original anymore, I think that you've got to do your part. You've got to go search these movies out. You've got to seek them out and watch them. You know, give them the money that they deserve as well. Like, fund that kind of stuff. Like, for instance, The Nice Guys is one of my favorite movies of all time. Came out 2016. And it's great. And people love it. It's, like, highly rated and stuff. People that did see it do like it quite a lot and have said good things about it. But it just didn't make the money to justify another one coming out. And that's the case for a lot of movies nowadays. Like, Knives Out, for example, the one I just mentioned before, apparently did become financially successful enough for another one to be made. That's great. And I hope that sets a trend for these other production studios and stuff to take these risks, because as ridiculous as it sounds with the stacked cast that it had and, you know, the classic kind of feel to it, Knives Out, like, in the end, if you want to look at it straight up, was a risk in a way, because they pump all this money into it, and, you know, it's an original IP, it's something nobody's ever heard of, and, you know, you can't be sure everybody's going to be going and seeing that, and not everybody's going to see it, of course, but it made enough to justify another one being made. I think that's great. I hope this starts a trend. And look, this is just totally my viewpoint. Here I'm just kind of spitballing some of the ideas that I've got against this sort of argument, because I read every day, like being on forums and being on Facebook groups and stuff, you just read time and time again people complaining that Hollywood isn't original anymore. It's all sequels, it's all remakes, and and the like. I don't think that that's a strong argument. I don't think that that's true. I think original stuff is coming out all the time. It's just that little bit more obscure, which I do think is a problem. I wish they weren't, but you know, as it is, they are. Even movies I like, it can be annoying. It's like, it's eternally frustrating that movies like Fast and the Furious and stuff like that are the ones that get all of the attention. Everybody goes and sees that. And look, I can enjoy a Fast and the Furious. I'm not gonna lie, they can be fun, but there's no thought really put into, I don't want to say no thought. I don't want to take away the merits of all the filmmakers and stuff behind those movies. There's great stuff in there. They're really fun, but you know, when I compare that to something like a movie I really love called Prisoners, there's just no comparison. Like, one is clearly the better made film. And yeah, it's eternally frustrating that those kinds of movies don't get as much attention. Anyway, I guess the point is that I'm urging people to go, you know, support those types of movies. Not that those sorts of movies are ever gonna be a bigger hit in the box office than a Marvel movie or whatever, but it would be nice to take a bite out of them, you know, to get that little bit more interest in movies like that. I don't know. The point is, go see movies like that. Hollywood still has plenty of ideas. There's awesome scripts going around all the time. And yeah, I don't know. There's original stuff coming out all the time. You gotta look for it. That's it. I'm just gonna go through some original movies that have come out in the past few years. Camp X-Ray might be based on a true story. Does that count as original? I'm not sure, but no, I'm gonna count it because that's really good. Nocturnal Animals, Swiss Army Man, that's probably the most original movie that you've ever seen. Hereditary, Wormwood, that's an obscure zombie movie. The Voices, that's original. Bait, that I've got for some reason, that's a shark movie. I mean, it's not that original, but it's not based on any IP or anything, unless you count it as a rip-off of Jaws, but ignore that right now. Logan Lucky, Table 19, Get Out, and Us. I don't know, there's plenty of stuff, is my point. So yeah, do the things and like and comment. Please share, please subscribe. Those are the big ones that I want, obviously. I mean, I want this channel to grow, so I would appreciate it. That is all. One last thing. Even when remakes and franchises and whatever come out, that's not inherently evil either. I just want to point that out. Like Casino Royale, based on a 50 goddamn year franchise or whatever. That brought new stuff. That still did interesting things. It's not inherently a bad thing. Remakes can be good too. I can enjoy those as well. Okay, goodbye.